Hello, I hope everyone is having a great day. Today I want to show y'all a couple of Yareli builds that I've been using recently. Now, Yareli is one of the frames that I don't use very often, mainly because I do not really like her. Her kit just doesn't really do it for me. She doesn't do anything that any other frame can't do better. Marilena, I fucking hate that ability. I hate K drives in this game. They make me really upset when I use them. So every build I have today has Marillina subsumed off, even though Aqua Blades could also be a subsume off for all these builds because it doesn't really do much for them. But you cannot cast subsumed abilities while you're on Marillina, and these are both cast heavy builds that I'm going to show you, so it doesn't really do anything for you to subsume off Aqua Blades if you're never going to be on Marillina or getting on and off Marilena, which is just too much of a hassle in my opinion. So both these builds will subsume off Marilena. The first one is a Terrify build, which maxes it doesn't max out, but high strength and range, and then low duration so that your Riptide doesn't last too long. The main premise of this build is you're just going to cast Terrify, cast Riptide, and everything will die. And then you can shoot everything in the Riptide and everything will die. Aura doesn't really matter that much. There are better ones than Steel Charge. I did not want a form of this, so I'm just using Steel Charge because that's what the default polarity was, and it gives me the most capacity. Cunning Drift in the extra list for more range, Blind Rage for more strength, Stretch for range, Augur Accord for shield capacity, and Fast Deflection for shield recharge. This is a bit of a shield taking tanking build. Just because she has very little survivability. Fleeting Expertise for more efficiency, Augur Reach for more range, Equilibrium, and Arcane Energize for energy, because even at 105 efficiency, it's pretty energy hungry. Rolling Guard just for comfort if you get in a tough situation. And then Arcane Velocity, since her passive does give 200% crit chance for pistols. As terms of companion, I like to use Diriga for its priming, just because you'll cast 4 and then it'll kind of hit everything in there. And with Arc Coil, it'll hit everything in there. And then Synth Deconstruct will get you some health orbs from that for more energy. I used Electric Viral Volt Clock with this, mainly for the crit chance for Tenacious Bond to get a higher crit damage multiplier. And for this build, anything with Punchru works. I kind of like using the Soma Prime with it, because you can cast your one. Any Incarnate is really easy for this because you can cast your one, and it kind of holds the enemies in the air, and you get easy headshots. Also, before I go any further, I do have 3 Archon shards in here for casting speed. Casting speed is kind of necessary for any of these builds. If you can find a place to slot on here, if you don't want to put Archon shards, maybe take out Equilibrium if you have different ways of getting energy. But yeah, Riptide's super slow to cast, and Terrify is not the quickest, so it is really nice having extra casting speed. I do have those 3 shards on there. But yeah, Soma Prime kind of works for me. I mean, anything will work if things are armor stripped. Here's my Soma Prime build. I do have a Riven. You don't really need a Riven. I would just put here Galvanized Aptitude if you don't have that. But it's Critical Delay, Vital Sense, Malignant Force, and Rhyme Rounds for Viral. Prime Shred, Galvanized Chamber, and Hunter Munitions just for more slash. Even though it is the highest weighting, I found I kind of need to have this for it to do anything. Soma Prime Incarnate is not the best Incarnate. For pistol, for this, I actually really like the Pyrana Prime, because you get that second one if you get like 2 in a row if you get 3 kills in a row. Here's my Pyrana build. It's pretty standard. It's not even a full build even, and as you can see, it works pretty well. I do have a Riven for this also not necessary. It's not a great Riven, only cold and crit chance and ammo max. This isn't even a full build though, and you can see what it will do. You kind of will need an Acolyte killer for this build, because this and this won't really do much to Acolytes, and Terrify doesn't armor strip them. So this is my Glaive Prime, standard Glaive Throne build. But yeah, I'll show you what this build can do with abundance of enemies. It is pretty simple. You're just gonna, if you're using an Incarnate, just cast 1, and then when things are in the air, you get easy headshots. And then you're just gonna cast Terrify and cast 4, and everything's going there, and things will die. Like I said, there are better ways of doing builds like this. There are different frames that have better survivability, better grouping tools. This is just kind of my way of making Yareli sort of fun for me. Just because her default build or any other build I've seen online are just not the way I would like to play her. But yeah, there's Soma Prime. I will show you the Piranha Prime with this build and then go on to the next one. Since we do have 2 builds for Yareli today. But yeah, it just kind of just works. I mean, it's not the most interesting or complex build, but it's fun for me. So let me know what you think. But yeah, once you get it stacked up in missions, Pyron actually kind of destroys things. Even with, this is literally not even a full build. No mods. I mean, with armor, it's not going to do much. Once these are grouped up. Yeah. In that last slot, I think you would want to put something with punch through. Just so it can hit more than one enemy when they're all grouped up. Alright, for the next build, it is a Wrathful Advance build. This one, a little more clunky than the last one. This is another Dark Dagger, Argonaut Metal Auger build. And I do like the Lex Prime with this. You don't really need a secondary for this, because it is more of a melee build. But the premise of this build is Wrathful Advance a group of enemies, and then Riptide, and then you can kind of kill everything, armor strip everything inside, and everything just dies. This is another shield taking build, so I have redirection on here. I did not want to form of this. If you have primed redirection, it can also go here. Transient Fortitude for strength, Augur Secrets for strength, Rolling Guard for survivability, Flow, you can put Prime Flow if you want to form of this. Stretch for range, Intensify, anyone will work here basically for strength, and then Equilibrium and Arcane Energize again for energy, Multi Augmented just for more strength because you want to get the maximum amount of crit chance out of Wrathful Advance. It's the same companion. The Dark Dagger build for the Wrathful Advance build is kind of a mix between the Dark Dagger build I showed in my Ash video, but with a little more, it uses Focus Energy and Reflex Coil for heavy attack efficiency because Wrathful Advance forces a heavy attack and you don't want to lose all your combo duration for Weeping Wounds, and then it also uses Amalgam Organ Shatter for the heavy attack wind speed and crit damage to get just a bit more crit damage since their Dark Knife doesn't have the most to begin with. But other than that, it's Drifting Contact, Gas with Virulent Scourge and Volcanic Edge, and then I also have this Riven with Electricity and Status Chance. You don't need a Riven. If you don't have this, I would just throw in where is it? Melee Prowess for more status chance. Yeah, this is also a pretty simple build. I just really like the... hold on. I just think the melee influence builds are real fun, especially with this one. It actually works all right. So how this works is you just Wrathful Advance and then jump, and everything dies in there. This one's a little more clunky since you have to jump to hit the enemies that are in the Riptide. But literally just one hit and they're all going to be armor stripped and die. So yeah, and in missions this will nuke rooms around you. But yeah, that's it for the builds. Let me know what you would change on them, how you would improve them. Thank you for watching. And stay tuned for more.